The top 10 most pulled comic books for January 22nd, 2025. I'm Mike Spiderslayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you love daily comic book content and you like me helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy, I think you came to the right place, guys. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet and you've been watching for a while, go ahead and do so now. So this is the weekly series where I go onto the website leagueofcomicgeeks.com. This is a website where you can create your own pull list. It's a wonderful site to keep track of comics that are coming out each week. And what this is just comic books that people are excited about putting on their pull list. It's not definitive sales numbers. This is just a fun video to do each week to keep track of possibly what people are excited about. Every week we start the top 10 most pulled with 5 books that are on the outside looking in. And the first book we're talking about is Harley Quinn. This is issue 47. 32 pages for the price of $4. Let's see what the pulls are for this first outside looking in book. It is 3,760, which is pretty decent. Usually around now you start with like just under 4,000 or 4,000, so it's right on par. And the writer here is Elliot Kalin, and the artist is done by Mindy Lee. I haven't read Harley Quinn in a very long time, but it looks like in this particular issue, Clayface is going to be in the book with a whole bunch of other Clayfaces, and they're having some kind of dinner party. Like, Lord knows what's going on in this book. I don't know. If you're reading it, let me know kind of what it's about in the description below. I'm kind of curious. Our second book that's on the outside looking in is another DC comic, and this one goes to Catwoman. This is issue 72. 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has exactly 4,000 pulls. That never happens. This one is written by Torin Grumbeck, and the art is done by Mariana Ignazi. When it comes to this book, same thing. I don't read it, but it looks like there's a bounty on Selina's head. She's in Stockholm. I guess she's in some party and people are going to be chasing her and she's going to have to do battle. Seems to be a lot of parties going on at DC Comics these days, or in the DC universe, I should say. So again, if you're enjoying it, I always want to know in the comments below. Our third book that's on the outside looking in is not a surprise why it's dropped on the countdown. This is Wolverine Revenge, the Red Band edition. This is issue 4. It's a 32-page comic for the price of $6. Of course, it's poly-bagged. This one does have 4,347 pulls. It's written by Jonathan Hickman, and the penciler is Greg Capullo. Now, I think everyone was expecting something much more when it came to this particular story, especially with the combination of Greg Capullo and Jonathan Hickman, but the story is just very lackluster. The artwork is good, but I wouldn't say this is Capullo's best artwork, and it is good to see him draw Wolverine again, but you were expecting something much better from this. And in this issue, Wolverine continues to get his revenge on the people that did him wrong in this series. That's all I could say about that. Our fourth book that's on the outside looking in goes to The Flash. This is issue 17. Legacy numbering here is 817, 32 pages for the price of $4. This book does have 5,054 pulls respectively. It's written by Simon Spurrier, and the art is done by Vasco Georgiev. When it comes to this comic book, another one of those DC books that I haven't read in a while. I wasn't a fan of Simon Spurrier's run when he first jumped on. And in this book, it looks like the Flash family meets the Warlord. And I think they were on vacation and now they come across this guy. Who he is, not sure. If you're reading it, dude, that's pretty cool. Let me know if you're enjoying it in the comments below. And our fifth and final book that's on the outside looking in, just missing that top 10, goes to Skybound's Void Rivals. This is issue 16, 28 pages for the price of $4. This book does have 5,274 pulls. It's written by Robert Kirkman, and the art is done by Lorenzo De Felici. This one is going to be cool because it's got that collector guy by the name of Skugzoid and Pythona, which is the G.I. Joe villain from Cobra Law. And somehow, some way, or shape or form, they're going to meet with each other and fight. Who wins, who loses? I don't know. That looks like it could be a lot of fun. I give Void Rivals credit for starting to climb the ranks. I think this book deserves a little bit more respect. It's definitely a little bit under the radar, and probably people feel like maybe it might be the weakest out of the Energon universe. I want to hear your comments below. Is it the weakest? Let me know. Now it's time to get serious, guys. We're entering that top 10, and number 10 goes to Green Arrow issue 20. Maybe not as strong as it once was. I think people are still kind of getting a feel for what this new run is going to be. The legacy numbering here is 353, 28 pages for the price of $4. This book does have 6,047 pulls. It's a pretty solid pull for a number 10 book. The writer here is Chris Condon, and the art is done by Montos. This is the same writer that just wrote that first issue of Ultimate Wolverine. This book has taken definitely a much more serious tone, as we have this freshwater killer that is going to be confronting Ollie in this issue. I thought the first issue wasn't that great. The second issue was a little bit better, especially towards the end. And now I'm kind of intrigued what's going to happen with this battle between Ollie and this killer. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Grabbing that number 9 spot, and I see that this book is a little bit lower too. There must be some good books at the top of this countdown this week. This one at number 9 is Wonder Woman issue 17. Legacy numbering 817, 40 pages, $5. This book has 6,549 pulls. I feel like there's people out there that are wanting to read another Wonder Woman book instead of this one. This one is written by Tom King, and Daniel Sampre does the artwork. The artwork is gorgeous in this series, but this story has been going on for quite a while now, as we still get to see Wonder Woman, who is doing battle against the Sovereign. When is that going to end? It's been going on forever, but he tends to draw out these stories that he writes, right? So it looks like Wonder Woman is revealed her plans to the entire nation, and she's going to send in her girls to do war against his army. So which Wonder Woman series are you liking better? The real series or Absolute Wonder Woman? Grabbing that 8th spot this week goes to the Fantastic Four. This is issue 28, legacy numbering 721, 32 pages for the price of $4 here. This book has 7,445 pulls. That's pretty hefty for a Fantastic Four book, but I think it's because it has to deal with One World Under Doom. That's right, the new Marvel event is getting started here, and it's very fitting that it's Fantastic Four. So that's pretty cool, and the character that's in this one is Dane Whitman, as he's going to be working with the Fantastic Four in this particular issue. That could be a lot of fun for you guys. I'm going to probably pick this one up too myself because I want to read this event. This has definitely dropped. Coming in at number 7 goes to Justice League Unlimited. This is issue 3. This book is 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has 7,616 pulls. This book is written by Mark Waid, and the art is done by Dan Mora here. Now, when it comes to this book, in the beginning, I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, I would like it when you have a book and you don't know which characters are going to be in it this particular week. But it seems like so far from the first 2 issues, they're putting a lot of characters. There's a lot of different story plots kind of going on right now. Right now, we got this story called The Atom Project, and it looks like Superman, Wonder Woman, and the others are going to have to possibly sacrifice the life of the Swamp Thing. So I don't know. There's Plastic Man, there's Beast Boy in here. So there's a lot of moving pieces, what seems to be going on in this series. So sometimes more's not always better, and I feel like I want to like this title a lot more than I currently do. Is this possibly in danger of me maybe dropping it? I want to know how you guys really truly feel about Justice League Unlimited right now. Right outside the top 5 and at number 6, which is surprising. This book usually is top 5. Uncanny X-Men. This is issue 9. Legacy numbering 709, 32 pages for the price of $5. It's going to be interesting to see how close these pull numbers are from now to number 1. So the pull number on this one is 9,164. That is a lot for a number 6 book. We usually don't get that until at least sometimes top 4, maybe even top 3. So here we have our Uncanny X-Men that just got done with that crossover event here. And it looks like, I don't know, what do they have to do against the battle against these particular Sentinels? And I don't know, we'll see. It has that cast of characters with those new young mutants that are probably focused in this particular issue. So yeah, when it came to that crossover event, that was pretty cool. And again, it looks like these young ones are hunted by these these Sentinel wolves that were introduced in the actual Sentinels. So yeah, we'll definitely see where this one goes. Here we go, top 5. Can't wait to see the pull numbers on what people are most excited about reading this week. Number 5 goes to Superman. This is issue 22. Legacy numbering here is 865. It's 32 pages. You're going to pay $5 for this comic book. The pull number on this bad boy, 9,493, so very close to Uncanny X-Men. The writer here is Joshua Williamson. The art is done by Dan Mora. This book is fun. It's got Doomsday, and it's got the the time trapper or whatever it is, Doomsday version working with Superman, and then there's an alien race trying to capture the primitive Doomsday, and he's captured, and you got Superwoman that's got powers. You got that gorgeous artwork in this book from Dan Mora, and it's just a fun read. And this is the best that Superman has been for me in quite a long time. I would say since Peter J. Tomasi wrote the series. So really enjoying this one. Can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts. Now, this book is never number 4. Even as crappy as it's been, it's never number 4. And this goes to the Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 66. Legacy numbering 960. 32 pages for the price of $5. This book at number 4 has 11,159 pulls. It's on the higher side of its regular pull list from anywhere from about 9,000 to 10,000 on the League of Comic Geeks website. So there are some high pulled books this week. And this one is going to be written by let's see, I think it's Justina Ireland, and the art is done by Andrea Bricardo. We got that nice Mark Bagley cover with Felicia and Peter making out here. He's definitely depressed. He's kind of lost his way for human life. He feels that, why am I saving people when people are just going to die no matter what, and people are eventually going to forget about him. So he needs someone to pucker him up, and maybe it's Felicia. We'll see. Definitely looking forward to it. The last couple issues haven't been so bad, and so hopefully this will be a solid issue as well. Here we go, top 3. Really excited here. And number 3 goes to Absolute Wonder Woman issue 4. It's right here what you guys are more excited about, that regular Wonder Woman series or this Wonder Woman series. I can honestly tell you issue 3 was the one that sold it for me when it came to this series. Had a lot of heart. You found out where her arm came from. Great stuff. 32 pages, $5 for this comic book. This one has 12,494 pulls. It's written by Kelly Thompson, and the art is done by Hayden Sherman. Listen, it may not be the most stellar artwork, but Kelly Thompson is starting to write something really nice here. And even though she's battling some big ass beasts or whatever it is, she gives the character heart, and I think that's kind of like the most important thing when it comes to this version of Diana. In fact, she's probably more in character maybe than in her regular series. So if you guys are liking this one more, let me know. I'm telling you though, every week it's always between these two particular characters. And number 2 this week goes to Detective Comics issue 1093. It's a good series by Tom Taylor. I've been really enjoying it. It's the bloody mystery unfolds, right? We're trying to figure out who's coming out with this secret formula or who's killing these kids to drain their blood to get maybe that secret formula to like Bruce Wayne's new young flame that he's hooking up with, that she's using to like cure older people of their ailments and stuff like that. This book is 40 pages, $5. What's the pull number on this one? 13,608. Another solid pull. Absolutely unbelievable. I think Tom Taylor's doing a great job, like I said, and the art here is done by Mikhail Janin, and it doesn't hurt that the artwork is really good here. Curious to see how this story unfolds. We still have the Waynes that are involved in this comic book as well, as they were introduced in the new Jumping On Point. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. After number 1, we are not done, as we still have Spider Slayer's sleeper pick to discuss. This is a title that's outside the 15 comic books that we discussed earlier, and this might be a book that you might want to pick up. But number 1 this week, like I said, it's always between these two characters in one shape, form, or fashion or another. This goes to Ultimate Spider-Man. This is issue 13. It's a 32-page comic for the price of $5. The pulls on this book is 18,340. No matter how slow this book is or lack of action it is, you guys seem to still be liking this book because you want to see the direction and where these characters actually go. This one is written by Jonathan Hickman, and the art is done by Marco Cicchetto in this one. And it looks like that Kraven the Hunter has captured Harry Osborn and Peter Parker, and it looks like the hunt is on in this universe of Spider-Man. I am so excited and down for this comic book. I want to know in the comments below, are you guys just as excited as I am? And now it's time for Slayer's sleeper pick, and coming in at number 44. That's right, it's pretty deep down in there, guys, but this is a book that I think you should try. It's a perfect jumping on point if you find the last issue. And this is Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn. This is issue 2. If you guys have ever been curious of Gunslinger Spawn, this is the perfect jumping on point to get to learn the character, where he comes from. You don't have to read the previous series. And listen, it's affordable. The book is only $2.99. You cannot go wrong with this. At least give it a try, right? This book has a lonely 1,026 pulls. And if you can find it and you are a fan of Mark Spears' Monsters, well, he does the variant cover for this as well. So you might want to check that out. This is written by Jimmy can never say his name, Palmiotti, and the art is done by Patrick Reynolds. So yeah, like I said, check out Deadly Tales of Gunslinger. I don't think you'll be disappointed. There you have it, webheads. Some stiff competition when it came to the most pulled comics that are being released this week, January 22nd, 2025. Anything here that you're excited about or maybe was outside your top 10 list? I want to know in the comments below. And as always, guys, I'm going to leave you more content right here for you to click on. And remember, support those local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting. Always read your comics so we can have great comic conversation. And you know what? I'll see you on New Comic Book Day. Take care, guys. Enjoy.